Okay guys, welcome to a Grow Garden video. Now I'm actually going to want to be talking about one of our main issues in Grow Garden, and that is increasing pay-to-winness. Okay, a lot of people complain about this, about pay-to-win. Speculation of the update coming out via the cosmetic update is going to be completely pay-to-win, and if you want to increase your garden size, you have to pay. And Grow Garden has tried to combat this with saying they're pretty free to play. They actually haven't necessarily said it, but they have been bought by Big Studios, which Big Studios is notorious for ruining games and making them pay to win. A few examples is they bought Fish, Blade Ball, those are the two biggest games, and a lot of others, okay? So, a lot of people are actually scared that this will ruin Grow Garden. Now, Big Studios has made, I don't know, something like 4 to 5 updates on the game. I think their first update was the pet update, actually. And they have implemented certain things. Like, for example, right here in shop, they have the exotic bug egg. Okay? And not only that, but over to the night event, you can go and buy night eggs for extremely large amounts of money while only having a 1% chance to get the rarest pet. And you can also buy the premium seed packs, and it's just crazy. It's honestly just crazy what they're starting to do. It's not crazy pay to win because there is something called, in these updates they always add something like this where you can get the versions that you have to pay for, but they are just a lot worse. Like, you can get seed packs, for instance, premium seed packs or just seed packs via with the eggs as well. So a lot of people are actually worried that eventually it will ruin the game because they're saying from the average seed shop, this stuff, even though the beanstalk actually does hold its own, right here, so does pepper, cacao, so does all the divines, really. But people are just saying that it's not really going to be able to hold its own in the future against these pay-to-win items. You can also get pets pretty easily by going over here. They cost some money, so if you're at the start of the game, you can't really buy this. Money, right? And it restocks every 30 minutes. But these pets are just nothing compared to the night egg and bug egg. And it's honestly getting a little bit unfair because people who spend Robux are just going to progress in the game 10 times faster than everybody else. So, that brings up the question, will Grow Garden get more pay to win? Actually, in the most recent 2 updates, they actually have turned a little bit to the worst. They have gotten more pay to win. And that's because of the introduction of the night egg. Usually they just have 1 premium seed pack and like the bug egg. But now they have 2 eggs you can buy. The night egg and the bug egg, as well as the premium, right? So a lot of people are actually concerned that this is gonna evolve into almost something that's like almost unplayable if you don't have Robux. Now, this being one of the biggest games on Roblox, I think it's currently the biggest with concurrent players. I think it averages 1.5 million, which is absolutely insane. Even Peak Blocks Fruits could barely hold up with that. So I think it's, I hope to God Big Studios does not ruin the future of this game. This game is so wonderful and amazing. But if it does, ruin it, there's not much we can do except beg. Now, all the creators out there, currently, what you guys are saying is actually good because they've implemented lots of changes into Grow Garden. For example, a lot of people were asking for extra space in their garden, and a bunch of the creators were, and they actually just announced it in their brand new cosmetic update, which I think is actually extremely cool, and that they are implementing some free-to-play features. I also want to talk about another thing. If you go into the seed shop, right, these are like free-to-play, kinda, right? All these seeds right here. But if you click on it and it's not in stock, you have this little option over here. For almost $10, you can buy a beanstalk seed, which is the best seed, except I think the grape and pepper are actually really close tied with it. But they are expensive, dude. If you want one pepper, it costs 630. For a grape, it costs 600. That costs a lot of money for just one plant. And so, even if people don't spend Robux on these premium eggs and whatnot, they can still just easily buy them from the seeds, like this. And it's not much better at all with the gear shop. Here at the gear shop, you click it, right? Show me the gear shop. It shows you a bunch of stuff. Actually, I'm gonna buy these sprinklers real quick. But anyways, if you want to buy the favorite tool, 120 Robux for that. These prices are a little bit less insane, but not at the same time. This master sprinkler only lasts 10 minutes, and it costs two real life dollars. That's a little bit absurd in my opinion, okay? And for these pet eggs, like, you can't really buy pet eggs except for the bug eggs and the night eggs, right? But still, like, those eggs just don't compare to this and this, okay? This stuff is kind of reminding me of Pet Simulator X and Pet Simulator 99. Hopefully, I'm almost begging that it does not get to be stuff like this and whatnot, and because they are releasing updates, and the reactions to these updates are pretty mixed. Some people say they're turning for the better, some people say they're turning for the absolute worst. Another issue that I'm just going to cover just for a second is these hackers, right? These hackers, not only are they getting the pay-to-win items by just hacking, okay, which makes it even worse, because at least the pay-to-win items are, like, at least they're not accessible to only a certain amount of people and ruining the Grow Garden economy. At least they're behind some sort of paywall that like doesn't create the game's economy to be ruined. At least it's like, because hackers are buying these things, right, getting a bunch of mutations on them, and then just ruining the Grow Garden economy. Like, some hackers are selling plants that are worth like literally 7 billion, and right now I actually don't even have that much. Not just today, I have 500 million, but now I have 270. It's honestly a little bit crazy what's going on in Grow Garden right now, and people aren't liking it. So, in the comments, please leave your suggestions and your thoughts about this, because in my opinion, this is just not good. It's just, I hope to God Do Big Studios doesn't ruin it, and I guess we'll see. Alright, bye.